Chicago, how does it feel to be waking up today, baby? The day after drafting Justin Fields, trading up from New York to get Justin Fields at 11th overall. It's a historic pick for the Chicago Bears because you messed up Mitchell Trubisky. When was the last time you had a franchise-level quarterback? Do you count 2 or 3 years of Jay Cutler where he's good? I don't think you really would. I don't think Chicago's fans really would, considering how everything ended with Jay Cutler. So you're looking at a situation now where you have Justin Fields. You had to trade up to get him, and you had to mortgage quite a bit to do that, including future picks, future high-level picks to get there. But for the front office, you had to do this. I mean, Ryan Pace and Matt Nagy were going to be fired if they didn't make this pick. They still might be fired. I mean, look what happened with the Chargers. I mean, Justin Herbert came in, balled out, and the head coach was still fired. So it might happen in Chicago that way. But you might also buy yourself a year or two if you're in the front office or you're in the coaching staff and Justin Fields comes out and plays well, which I think some people expect he will. This is a guy who ends up falling in the draft along with Mac Jones. But he should have been the man at Georgia. I mean, let's be honest. He was better than Jake Fromm. As a true freshman, he was better than Jake Fromm at Georgia, and everyone knew it except for Kirby Smart. He transfers to Ohio State, and he has 2 seasons of being in the top 7 in the Heisman voting, including this past year, even though people will point out he didn't play that great against Northwestern or Indiana. But then he went out and he was hurt, and he threw 6 touchdowns or 5 touchdowns against Clemson in the national championship in the semifinal game. So I think you have to look at that and say, this guy's played in the high-level games. He's performed well in a lot of the high-level games. He's been one of probably the 2 or 3 best college football quarterbacks the past couple of years now. Obviously, you would have had Lawrence and Burrow the 1 year, and then this past season, probably you say Lawrence, Mac Jones, Lawrence, Zach Wilson, one of the 2. So Fields has been up there. He's been doing this for a while. He's been a highly touted player for a long time now, and you bet to buy into him now if you're Chicago. And I know he fell a little bit. I know there are probably some concerns there. People talk about how quickly he can read defenses or how he diagnoses plays. Let me say this. If you're not asked to do it in college, which Justin Herbert wasn't asked to do a lot when he was playing in college, yeah, he came out and he still performed great as a rookie. He didn't have the issues people were expecting him to, including me. I thought he was going to have major issues reading defenses in the NFL because of what he was asked and not asked to do in college. And yet it turned out just fine. So if you're Chicago, you have to feel pumped that you end up with a quarterback in this situation, despite everything that's gone on so far this summer. And you're ending up with a guy in Justin Fields who is a high-level college football player who has, I guess you could say, the pedigree to come in and be an immediate impact player in the NFL. And if you're Andy Dalton, you now know what Mike Glennon felt like a couple of years back when I selected Mitchell Trubisky in the first round.